Hey everybody, sorry about the delay in between videos. It's my intent to put out at least one video every day, but life happens. Anyway, I think I'm getting better at not being quite so long-winded. We're going to start streamlining these videos so that it's easier to put one out at least a day. And today's reading is for the zodiac sign of Aquarius. And I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I love me some Aquarians. Fine people, salt of the earth. Special shout out to some wonderful Aquarians that I've had in my life. My father, my late great father, my nephew Jackson, a very special young man. Heart of gold, sharp as a tack. That kid is going places. My buddy Nix down in Florida. And also, although I don't believe she cares for me very much anymore, Gypsy. So special shout out to all them, and we're going to go ahead and get started with your reading, Aquarians. If you're new to the channel, welcome. It's good to have you here. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to pay me more attention. You know, Leos love to get paid. Reminder to everyone that I do free personal readings. If you'd like one, you can leave a comment in the comment section below. Please do that anyway. If you are so inclined, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Helps me to grow the channel. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get crack-a-lackin' here. Nope. This will be the first of 3 air signs. Libra and Gemini will be next. And then we will finish out with the earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. And then, yeah, that's my plan, to get those done actually by Monday. And then Monday I want to start doing at least one sign per day. So let's see what we got here. Nope. Man, I tell you what, sometimes there just must be some awfully special messages coming through because, as I've said before, I don't have trouble shuffling cards. So whenever the cards give me trouble shuffling, I know that I'm not done shuffling. All right. Got your foundation stones, 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving right along. Hope you all are doing well. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving, and I hope you'll have an even better Christmas. You know, the way my life has shaped up, holidays and special occasions are really the only opportunities that I have to see my family anymore, so I'm very much looking forward to Christmas. As I've gotten on in years, I've realized the benefit of family and just people in general that you have in your life that love you. Been through a lot, learned a lot of tough lessons in a short period of time. This is Walter, in case y'all haven't met him. And everyone should remember that, you know, your material possessions, as much as I love my comic books and my precious gemstones and, you know, all the trinkets and knickknacks and books, you can't take any of that stuff with you. Once you leave here, all you take with you is the energy that you were behind while you were here. What you thought, what you felt, what you did, what you said. Those are the only things that are going to follow behind you once you leave this flesh vehicle that we're trapped in for however long a time. All right, Aquarians, almost done building your pyramid here. As always, we will finish off with the capstone from the Archangel Raphael Healing Oracle deck. I am super excited for Marvel Phase 5. Gonna get Blade, gonna get the Fantastic Four, gonna get the X-Men, get the next Captain Marvel, gonna get Miss Marvel. It's just gonna be awesome. I hope you all are as excited as I am. So let's see what we got here, Aquarians. Well, to start off with, your Heartstone is the Six of Wands. So some of you, maybe all of you, maybe just one of you, maybe none of you, have victory on your heart. Your Heartstone is surrounded by the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So you've got fire in your heart, Aquarians, and air is fuel for fire. So your foundation stones, we have the Strength card, we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Swords in reverse. And your voice stones, we have the Devil and the Ten of Swords in reverse. Overall energy for your pyramid, Aquarians, is looking pretty darn good for me. The Ten of Swords is one of my least favorite cards in the deck. Usually, to me, it speaks to someone being beaten down by life. Excuse me for just a moment, please. So the Ten of Swords upright talks about, tough times that everybody goes through while we're here, but in reverse, I'm getting the feeling that a lot of you guys are actually coming out of a tough time. Now you've got the Devil card, which, sometimes it can be talking about addiction to drugs and alcohol. Sometimes it can be talking about overindulgence when you're talking about food, if you're a foodie, and let's say cheesecake is your favorite dessert. And you might have a second and a third piece instead of just the one. Sometimes, it can be overindulgence in gossip, which does sync with the Ten of Swords reverse over there. And I'm actually getting a good feeling of that. I'm getting the feeling that whatever you've been overindulging in has had you feeling beaten down, and you're going away from that, is the feeling that I'm getting there. Now, at your foundation stones, you have the Ace of Pentacles, fabulous card, and the Strength card, Leo energy, baby. Some of you all, with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Six of Swords in reverse, have lost some things, some material possessions, some tools, getting the distinct impression that somebody's lost a job recently, and therefore you've lost some of your ability to, I'll give you an example. I used to be a veterinary technician, and even though I'm no longer employed at a small animal clinic, I'm still the best vet tech ever, believe that. But as a result of not being there anymore, I lost my discounts on medicine and pet food. So a lot of different careers out there have different perks that you get for working at certain places. And if you've lost your job, which I'm definitely getting the feeling that somebody has, you've lost your access to whatever benefits accompanied that particular profession. However, the way that I'm seeing these alternating, the Ace of Pentacles being in between the Six of Swords in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, is telling me that despite that, you're actually headed in a better direction. And you do have the strength to get over whatever it was that you lost, whether that be a job or some of you could have lost a partner, a friend, and as a result, every relationship has benefits. Not that you should ever have a relationship with someone solely because of the benefits, but if you've lost someone that you thought was a friend of yours, for example, whatever benefits were attached to that relationship, don't worry about that. You've got the Strength card down here, and it's making me feel like you've got the strength to actually come out better than you were, than the situation in which you were in before. Now, your Heartstone being the Six of Wands and also being right above the Ace of Pentacles, I'm not getting the feeling that some of you guys that have lost something are really all that concerned about it. As a matter of fact, you more or less feel like it's a victory because now you're headed on to a better path. You're going away from hardship. You're going away from the heaviness that life can put on you. Surrounding your Heartstones, you've got the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Cups. The Ace of Wands, and I don't stick much by the textbook definitions if this is your first time tuning in. The Ace of Wands is making me feel in this particular case like you're a fiery individual and you have basically all of the strength being right underneath it. You've got all the strength and fire and courage and creativity that you need to move forward and be more successful. And as a matter of fact, just to split this pyramid up for just a second, you've got the Strength, Ace of Wands, Ten of Swords in reverse. You've got the Ace of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Ten of Swords in reverse, kind of making a miniature pyramid here. So your foundation with strength and opportunity is actually leading you out of hardship. Now the Eight of Cups, like I said, I don't stick much by the textbook definitions. In this particular reading, in this particular deck, the Eight of Cups is making me feel more like you have so many opportunities ahead of you. You've got so many tools in the tool bag. You've got so many tricks up your sleeve. You're not wanting for different options, different relationships. You know, you're storing up your good emotions and saving them, and you're also, you know, not so much concerned about the bad emotions. I know it's not strictly by the book, but that's what I'm feeling here. And just to clarify, I am going to look up the definition to the Eight of Cups just to see, because if memory serves, it's not usually all that super positive of a card. So bear with me just a moment here. No matter what it means, the Six of Swords in reverse being right underneath it and then leading up to the Devil card, I get the feeling that this is indicative of whatever hardship or loss that you've been through recently. Some of you have lost significant connections, personal relationships, romantic relationships. For some of you, I'm feeling that hot and heavy. Let's see, Eight of Cups, Eight of Cups. So, don't walk away from a situation just before its completion. Don't turn your back on success. You may be leaving a long-standing relationship, and that pretty much ties into the vibes that I was getting from this whole thing. If you leave a situation that's benefiting you too early, for some of you guys have straight up lost things and you're on the road to recovery on this side of the pyramid. On this side of the pyramid, some of you are thinking about leaving friendship, specifically, is what I'm hearing. Some of you have a friend, some of you have friends that don't necessarily see eye to eye with you and your worldviews. Particularly, I'm hearing spiritual views. The sequence that these cards are in is really making me feel like you've already, this is going to get very specific for some people, you've already lost some tools that were important to you because of a particular person. You're thinking about leaving that person in the dust, but what I see here is that's going to lead not to a nightmare scenario, but to a scenario in which it's going to make you kind of uncomfortable. You're not going to feel really great about making the decision, and therefore you might You know, some people are emotional eaters. I've been guilty of that. Not necessarily hungry, but upset about something, so go slam a box of Crunch a Munch or something like that. The important thing to remember, you guys, is whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, for those of you that are considering leaving a close personal friend behind, don't think about it too much. Listen to your heart more than you do your head. Now, that's easier said than done for air signs in general, particularly Aquarians. Try to get out of your head space and get into your heart space more. Your heart is going to lead you to victory and out of the difficult situation that you're in. Sometimes that means having to endure something that you feel is an injustice, but you know, lose the battle, win the war is the saying that comes to mind. So that's the overall message that I'm getting. Yep, and we're going to go ahead and close this out with your capstone. Hydration, super important. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for motivating and guiding me to drink more water so that my health, energy, and appetite stay at optimal levels throughout each day. Now, the capstone being hydration, and the card of warning not to leave a situation too soon being the Eight of Cups. You're talking about water energy there. First of all, everybody should be drinking plenty of water. Dehydration leads to lots of unpleasant things, not the least of which is fatigue, muscle cramps, and all kinds of other stuff. We're made out of almost 80% water, so the more water you're drinking, the better. But yeah, that's making me feel like it's more talking about emotions than it is about actual water. And I'm going to go into the book and see if that will further clarify your capstone. Hydration. If you've ever seen The Water Boy, it's one of my favorite classic Adam Sandler movies. Now, that's what I call high quality H2O. The health condition you're asking about would benefit from an increase in water intake or an increase in emotional intake, i.e. listening to your heart instead of your head. There seems to be some dehydration involved, which has lowered your energy and created imbalances. It's time to increase the amount of water that you or the person for whom you're inquiring drink. Even better, pray over the water prior to drinking it in order to infuse the liquid with healing energy. Possible specific meanings: avoid dehydrating substances such as salt, alcohol, caffeine, and dried fruit. Replace soda with water to keep your body hydrated. Switch to a higher quality drinking water. Drink water throughout the day. Exercise or use a sauna to detoxify through perspiration. So, speaking of that and perspiration, some of you guys are sweating this decision pretty hard. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Everybody's got their own path to walk. But for those of you that are thinking about leaving a relationship, whether that be romantic or friendship based, I would say don't think about it so much, but meditate on it. See what your heart's telling you. Try to rise above thought, and then see if what your heart is telling you and your intuition is telling you is matching what your brain is saying the logical approach is. So Aquarians, that's what I got for you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.